Okay, good evening. Mr. Karate, could you do roll call, please?
Okay, Mr. Arcomando,
Present.
Ms. Borelli,
Present.
Ms. Ainello,
Present.
Mr. Laurentino,
Present.
Ms. Mahoney,
Here.
Mr. Shearer,
Here.
Ms. Torbic, Ms. Traverso,
Here.
Ms. Zottarelli.
Here.
Please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Adequate notice of this meeting has been sent to all members of the Board of Education and to the Bergen Record in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, 1975. Okay. One second. Ray.
Yes, I do not have a superintendent's report for tonight. I will report Wednesday.
Okay. Ray's doing a budget hearing. Okay. Where you go?
We have to move.
We're not doing the public hearing?
You know, see what I'm saying?
Just in the budget presentation, you guys can
We'll ask.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. We can go to the front row, gang, for the public hearing.
Yeah, Mrs. Violetti and I will be doing a budget presentation. This is the public hearing of the budget, which is today's the last day. You actually couldn't do it. Wednesday, we'll take the action on the budget. So after we do the presentation, we'll open up for board comments or questions. And then later during the public part, we'll open up for public.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We have our 2022 to 2023 proposed budget. We have our agenda for this evening, so we'll start with an overview of our budget, review our non-discretionary expenses, our revenues, speak about where the money comes from, where the majority of the budget goes towards, our facilities, our management and maintenance and projects, district projects and initiatives, go to staffing, do some celebration, and then discuss the estimated tax impact. Thank you to our members of the Board of Education. The Asterisk members are part of our budget committee members, so a special thank you to Mr. Mike Accomando, Mrs. Regina Borelli, Mrs. Kelly Mahoney, and Mr. Richard Scher. And sometimes Mrs. Vicki Torbic.
Okay, so what brings us here is part of New Jersey Statute 18A. We have to submit a balanced budget annually to the state for approval, and that's to provide for a thorough and efficient education. So we accomplished that again. Our budget this year, which includes 3 funds, which I'll go over a little later, is a little over $42 million on the revenue side and the appropriation side. And the budget process began November 21. And the county was submitted by the board in March, and the county approved on April 18th, which brings us to this date for the public hearing, and Wednesday we'll adopt the budget. So just a couple definitions here. I'm not going to go through them all, but local revenues, the revenues are made up of local revenues, so mostly tax levy. Then there's miscellaneous things like interest and facility use. State revenues, it's money we get from the state for different programs, transportation, special education. And then we have federal revenues, like if you heard in the news in the last couple of years, these CARES or ESSER funds, that's where that money is recorded. So in a total budget of $42,023,606, it's made up of 3 different funds. The first fund being the major fund is our operating fund, a little over $38 million. That's where all our salaries are paid for, our staff, benefits, supplies, textbooks, all insurances, and so forth for the year. The next fund is a special revenue fund. Those monies we get in from state and federal governments, even the local like SBF, has to be recorded into a separate fund and accounted for separately by grant. And then the debt service fund is like your mortgage. Again, it has to be in a separate fund, pays the principal and interest payments, and that totals a little over $1.9 million. So all those three funds together total up to the $42 million. Looks like a lot of money, $42 million, but 95% of it is pretty much set already. These are the type of expenses, salaries, the major ones. Salaries and benefits alone, together is about 70% of the budget. Out of district tuition, transportation, utilities, insurances, professional services, and leases that we have going on right now make up 95%. So there's not a lot of wiggle room in that $42 million to add things and make cuts and so forth. So it's been difficult over the years. A little bit on the revenues. So the general fund tax levy is where we can go up 2%. It's not on the budget side, it's on the taxes. So we can go up 2%. However, I probably said it a few times that this whole chapter 44 savings that the state had to show, we lost, they took more money to about $221,000, but we fought that and we got it reduced down. So really our tax levy cap went from 2% to 1.96, which wasn't bad. It was about $11,000, $12,000. So we can go up $664,000, and then we got again another increase in state aid. The governor and the state have been trying to fund the formula. I think in the next year or two, will hopefully be fully funded. We're up a little over $300,000, which was more great news. And then to what makes the budget up to the $42 million, we're using $702,000 out of our capital reserve account and $282,000 from our maintenance reserve to do capital and maintenance projects, which we'll go over a little later. This is just a couple other definitions for revenues. So the income that a business or a government like us receives, mostly tax levy, funds in the capital reserve account, or you'll see in action like at next meeting, we'll try to put funds in the capital reserve account, and that has to be used for projects in the district's long-range facility plan. You can't use them for anything else. You can't pull them out for anything else. Same with the maintenance reserve. Money's put in there and is designated for just maintenance items. So we did pull money out. We're able to put money in there. We're able to pull it out and do projects in the budget that we can't normally fund in our normal operations. And it's just a pie chart of, you can see the yellow part where most of our money comes from, about 90%. And so with the additional state and federal aids, with the ESSER monies that usually that tax levy is around 93%, but we're getting a little bit more in state aid and federal money, so that dropped that down a little bit. But there's the general fund, $38,176,883. It's all about the students. Why? It's all about the students. We spend most of our budget on the students. Well, everything really is for the students. But if you put together the student direct instruction, the classroom, the teachers, the benefits, the salaries, the textbooks, all the support services, athletics, co-curricular, we're a little over 57% of the budget. I mean, if you added in the employee benefits as well, we're in 70%. But there's you could see most of it spent on the students, and then the other areas where the budget goes to. And again, there's the $38,176,000 for general fund. And just in case someone didn't know, we have 5 school buildings that we maintain doing the capital and maintenance projects, and also the 5 fields that we maintain as well. So in this year's budget, with that, some money in the local budget and then some in the capital reserve and the maintenance reserve, we're able to do these facility capital maintenance projects. One major one being we're finally going to put air conditioning, change the whole ventilation system in the main gym here, but also get air conditioning. My athletic supervisor always reminds me that we're probably one of the districts that do not have air conditioning. So we will be getting that. Just giving a warning, like everything else, everything else is delayed. It takes a long time to get. It's not going to happen for this summer. Probably by next summer it'll be in there. We're going to do some tile abatement projects. I put approximately 8 classrooms, but again, with all the costs going up and up, we don't know exactly how many we could do. We're getting quotes right now, but that'll be district-wide, a few hopefully in each school building. doing our ceiling and lighting upgrades in several classrooms. Normal maintenance, we finished the gym floors at this building and at Long School. We do the district HVAC installations and repairs. We have a couple rooms where we have to either add or change over the HVAC system. We have a lot of concrete repairs and brick repointing in the buildings going to take place. We have to replace the condensate tank at Franklin School. We're doing lock repairs at the high school here, replacing windows in the classrooms at Franklin, and installing a sidewalk on the side of the parking lot by Smith School. So we're doing a lot, and I said that was the almost $1 million that was from the reserve. That's the majority of it. And now I'm going to turn over to Mrs. Violetti.
This is my
Love's
slide.
new project.
So to talk about the projects and initiatives that we have coming up in our district, I just have listed some. So we are very excited to announce that we are going to be able to be one-to-one with our Chromebooks for all students in grades 3 through 12. Thank you, Mr. Marr back there. Our K-2 students will benefit from use of the Chromebook carts that we currently have. So that way they will be a Chromebook for every student in our district. This past week, we just finished delivering laptops to each staff member. So we really should be in a really good place next year. So that's something that we're really especially excited about. And that includes the Go Guardian piece of it, which is a good chunk of money, the licenses and the cases for those Chromebooks. We are purchasing more creative curriculum sets. We're growing our preschool program, excited about that. They use creative curriculum, so we are purchasing additional sets, as well as classroom furniture. We're opening up an additional preschool classroom at Washington, so we needed to purchase furniture for that classroom as well. Project Read is our phonics program for K-2, so we have in our budget items to purchase to continue with Project Read and leveled readers, BSI math in grades 1 through 12. So we were able to look to put into our budget, localize into our budget, a math basic skills teacher at the middle school, high school, one at Long Memorial who did not have they didn't differentiate. It was one person that was math and reading BSI. So now we will have two, one for reading, a reading specialist, and then one for math BSI. So with that, we are able to purchase IXL for those math students so we can keep track of their performance. We have in our budget new football uniforms. We have the Nessie Dyslexia Intervention in PD. This was our first year using that, and it was very well received by our staff, so we're excited to continue that. And then some other initiatives, we have our aviation program from the AOPA that we're starting next year, and that allows students to enroll in this program, follow the curriculum, and then the option of going in different pathways. They can choose a drone pilot assessment to take in their junior year, or an actual airplane pilot license to take in their junior year. And tomorrow's teachers is for students interested in education. They're able to partner with Rider University. They're able to take a college level course, prepare in preparation for teaching. You do not have to go into teaching. It's if you're interested in the field, you want to get a taste of it, you get to see what it's like. We're excited to start that next year. And we are also looking to start an Esports Club, which is essentially an online gaming sports club that we're looking to bring into the district. It's been gaining in popularity across the nation. There is a league for it, and it's really something that we feel would benefit our students. More to come on that as we continue planning it. A sample of other items that are included. Something else we're really excited about. Our school website is Blackboard, but then we have a separate school messenger program. We are going to combine it all in once and purchase the app as well. So we are able to do the website, the app, and the messenger program, which means that we'll be able to send notifications out to your phone via the app. So every parent that has the app, every student that has the app, you can just send messages and notifications out that way. So we're going to purchase that this summer, and we'll have training over the summer for our leadership team. Bicycle racks and coil risers at the middle school, high school, and keyboards for our music program. The entire district, our leases are up, so we're getting new copy machines in each of our buildings, which we're really excited about. And those bottled water fountains, we continue to put them into our buildings. So right now, each building has one, and we're looking to grow that. Phase 3 renovations of Room 129. Room 129 is where our director, no, it's not. Room 129 is right here. It's our child study team offices. That's 124. So we have the offices are completed. Now we need to do the ceiling. A couple different smaller items that need to be finished in room 129, so that's budgeted for. Replacing the carpet runners in the auditorium with hopefully a darker carpet runner that you will not see stains on. Supplies for new special education classrooms. So we are growing our special education program as well, and we do need supplies for these special education classrooms. Our literacy consultant we're continuing with, Conquer Math for our math teachers, and AP courses. Our AP teachers participate in a lot of AP professional development that we promote as well. Some staffing. So what we were able to include in our budget for next school year as a part-time elementary Spanish teacher. We now have one Spanish elementary teacher for all 3 K-6 buildings. She instructs students in Spanish in the upper grades and then consults with the lower grade teachers. So having this part-time additional person will enable enable every student to benefit from instruction from a Spanish teacher. As mentioned earlier, the basic skills instruction mathematics teacher at Long School, and then the middle school, high school, both one basic skills math teacher, one basic skills English teacher, a special education teacher, a preschool teacher, a BCBA, that's a behaviorist. It's a board certified behavior analyst. And they work with not just our special education programs, but our general ed students as well. They might do a functional behavior assessments for students presenting with problematic behaviors, and then they develop an action plan. Co-assistant girls soccer coach, an extended school year coordinator for our summer ESY program, and then also an additional technology support person, because as we're growing our technology and getting more Chromebooks and laptops in the district, we need an additional support person to support that program. We are continuing, we do have another year of ESSER funds, so we are continuing with some of our ESSER funded positions. The technology support person is actually going to be ESSER funded for another year. The one from this past year that we had ESSER funded, we were able to localize into our budget. Elementary school counselor, we are going to continue next school year. That's our floater counselor. The Thrive mental health counselor, we are going to continue with for another year. We are looking to hire a part-time PE teacher who's also special ed certified, looking to hire. And then we are continuing one interventionist at each K-6 building. So those would all be ESSER funded. And things to celebrate. This is also my slide. So we wanted to just take a moment to celebrate this past year and what we're able to accomplish this year. So here we have listed, this was our first year we had school data teams, where each school had a data team, and they met monthly and they looked at student performance data. And we're excited to continue that. Our SEL program, the social emotional learning program, we had monthly SEL days, really started to promote that and grow that, and we purchased materials for that. We have our second step program at the elementary school that we purchased. Our counselors use that second step program to lead lessons with our students. Then we have a bunch of new courses that we started this past year that have really been well received. Our human geography course, AP US History 1, we added applied mathematics, foundations of art. We added an honors grade 8 science and a history of popular music course. We have Nicole DeBonis, our director of curriculum. She started a report card committee. We were able to meet, they met monthly. They're revising our K-6 report cards and the benchmark rubrics. We also have Light the Night. Mrs. DeBonis is leading our Light the Night committee. We are planning that event for June 1st at 7 o'clock. There'll be a DJ, there'll be games and activities, and raising money for Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, as well as local families affected by leukemia. Scott Chesney presentation. Scott Chesney did come here. He presented to our high school students on disabilities and perseverance, had a really strong message for them that you can achieve anything you put your mind to, so stay positive, take it day by day. Our SAL classroom is our special needs, multiple disabled / ABA middle school, high school classroom here. Really, we're able to launch it this past year, focusing on some life skills. They're on a lot of programs such as making a bed, doing the laundry, washing the dishes, also going to the library weekly. They go out shopping to ShopRite, different life skills that they're working on. This past year, we did 1-to-1 in 4 grades that we're expanding it next year. Our Dreams program is our Nurtured Heart approach that we're piloting at Smith School. Teen Mental Health First Aid, we just started implementing that. Our staff had training all year, and we're probably in day 2 or 3 of training our 10th graders. We're focusing on our 10th graders this year. And what we're doing is we're training them on how to respond to students that or peers that may present to be in need of assistance. And it kind of teaches them what to do and when's the right time to go to an adult, a trusted adult. Our community wellness event we had at the beginning of the year, our preschool program has just been such a success. The teachers there have really been fostering that program and we're growing it. So we're really excited for that. We had 7 new dual enrollment courses this past year. We're looking to add probably at least 2 more dual enrollment courses. That's when a student takes a course at the high school and also is eligible to receive college credit. Our communication just overall as a district has been steadily improving. We have created a field at Long Memorial School, so the back paving area, we took away the pavement, the asphalt, we added seed, we're making it more of a rectangular field, and we repaved the parking lot with new parking spaces. Helen Smith School parking lot was paved, the middle school, high school had parts of it paved, and the lines were repainted. We are installing AC in the K-6 gymnasium, so Long School has had AC, but Franklin School and Smith School are also getting upgraded HVAC systems and air conditioning. And we started our math and English honor societies. We've always had science, and we started math and English this past year. This is you.
So to sum it up, our general fund, that $38 million I was talking about before, is almost up 5% from last year. And the reason that's up more than the 2 is because we added those reserve monies, and also the state aid went up $300,000 and the federal ESSER fund. So that contributed to the amount of money that we're actually going to spend next year being over. But if you look at the next 2 bullets, the school year tax levy is at 1.71%. And the calendar year, because we're on a fiscal year, July to June, and the town's on a December to January, January to December, is going up 1.73. So the impact to the average house, which I got from the township, is $407,800, would cost $115 more in calendar year 2022, $9.58 per month. So I know Mrs. Violetti was excited with the projects. I'm excited too, because we're doing a lot of stuff, but I didn't have all the glitz and glamour.
I tried. We did a TV format template, and Mr. Crotty has always told me numbers don't lie. So we decided to end with that very nice adage. And then see, you go back to the power button, it starts all over.
So we'll open up to the board. I said public will save for during public participation, but any board members have any questions or comments on the budget? Yeah.
Appropriation.
Oh, it is better. Usually we're right. Yeah. Usually it's a lot of cutting. But yeah. Thank you.
Yes, we are lucky. Thank you, Mr. Crotty.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, come on up.
Shoot wall.
You were a little loopy when you left. It was fun. Good time. And I won.
Okay, so superintendent's report will be Wednesday. Mr. Crotty, will your report be Wednesday also? Okay. Agenda items for the board to discuss. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, wait, which one do I go to now? Here we go. Okay, we're going to go to board action items. Any discussion on that? Okay. Okay, Ms. Torbeck's not here, so any questions or comment on education curriculum? Okay, Mr. Shear.
through the chair, under F2122.120, I'd like to put that out for an RFP.
122-120.
It's on page 4.
Okay. And I once again like this.
And that,
Oh,
Yeah.
anyone in favor? All in favor?
oh, we're not voting now, are we?
Oh.
No, not for vote, but for pulling it off.
Oh, okay.
Everybody?
Do we have to pull it off or we vote
Go
on
ahead,
it?
that's what I'm asking for everybody. It was mentioned out there. Just asking.
Okay, well, obviously, we know where I stand.
You know, I respect where you stand. I have no problem with that. My suggestion would be, let's keep it on, vote on it Wednesday. Should it fail, we go to RSP. If it passes, then we save ourselves the trouble. We vetted 6 attorneys last year. We picked one. If the majority of the board likes this one, we stick with it. If not, we go out to practice. We only lose 48 hours.
Sound like a plan, Stan?
If we go to
Whatever the majority wants.
if we go out for RFP, would it be the same process that we did last time, or would we just get like a few bids and take the lowest one? Like, what would be the process now? You know? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much the same as you did last time. You have to, you put out some notice. I would send it around to some firms, and then you could discuss, meet with them, discuss it. It's not like a bidding process where you have to accept like a construction project, accept the lowest bidder. There's other factors that are involved in it, so that's why you usually interview them and then kind of score them, some criteria, and make your selection, which we did, like it did last time. I forgot how many we had in total, and the board selected this firm. But that's how the process would be.
And
I
that
don't
was an
think
unfortunate
anyone-
situation too, because it was touring a term, I guess, there.
During the term,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to change their mind from now till Wednesday. So if whatever we're going to vote tonight is what we're going to vote Wednesday, so why not do it that way?
We don't vote tonight, do we?
Well, he wants to know what we want to do about pulling it for RFP only.
Yeah,
But
just see if
Vicky's
you-
not here. We wait till Wednesday. Vicky will be here for a vote.
Vicky won't be here Wednesday either.
She's Wednesday.
No, Vicky will not be here Wednesday.
Through the chair, I have a question. What
Yeah.
would be the pros and cons of pulling it off now and doing the RFP, or voting on Wednesday, nay or yay?
There's no pro or con, really.
So it's
My suggestion, if we vote on Wednesday and it passes, then we don't have to do anything else. If it fails, then we go forward with the process. So what you're saying is let's take the straw poll tonight and then we'll know what we need to do going forward. First, I have no problem with the current situation.
So if you're going to vote no tonight, you're going to vote no Wednesday. It's going to be the same result. That's my point.
Okay, so who's in favor of pulling it for an RFP?
I actually don't know yet. This just got hit with me today, and I just need some time to absorb the information. So honestly, I can't tell you either way at this point.
We can leave it on for Wednesday, and either vote or pull it.
Okay, well, leave it up for Wednesday. Because
You leave it on for Wednesday. Gina's got 2 days to consider.
Yeah, you vote or pull it off.
okay,
Fine.
okay.
That's what the majority is. That's fine.
Ken, I just want to, again, thanks. I know Mr. Shear had a new bundle of joy this year, and I know the budget wasn't easy for you, so thank you, Yeah. All right, and we'll move on to, geez, Mr. Laurentino.
Policies. B1640 on 4 through R932.
Just want to say I stood in with this policy, this committee also, and a lot of the stuff was a lot of Strauss estimate and very informative. So again, thank you also for your work and Ms. Violetti for yours. Any questions, anybody? Okay, Sylvia,
Nothing that we can speak of under negotiations.
okay. Miss Traverso. Oh, we do this Wednesday, right?
Any questions in general?
Oh, okay.
Any questions on personnel with regard to 212282 through 2122, sorry, mic's not on. Any questions with regards to personnel on 2122.82 through 2122.91?
Where is that? Where's the button here? Let's see. Okay, and I guess we'll do committee and liaison reports on Wednesday, or if anybody has it for today. Sure.
Personnel, I'm always doing this, well, it's usually a closed item, closed session item.
Yeah.
But if we're just going through it now, is there something new that it's changed since I last, was on the board?
Yeah, the format. It's cheap.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we usually don't discuss personnel at all, so if we had a question about
It's been closed, yeah.
someone on here,
Right.
if you just ask, are there any questions about personnel? And if I did have a question, I'd have to bring that person's name out.
Right, yeah.
That's
So-
why we went into close before. We can go back into close if you have more questions.
Yeah,
No, we don't do it out here.
but not everybody holds their tongue to close, okay? So that means if I just decided I wanted to go and pull out one of these names, we'd go back and close. Yeah, but it would be brought to the attention of the public is what I'm saying, because you're asking me if I have any questions about the people on the agenda. I may not have had it before, but now maybe I do, but I don't. But I'm saying it's a possibility.
Yeah.
because That's maybe another attorney question.
You wouldn't say what it was, but then you'd like to go back into personnel and nobody would know where it would be except us when we got there. I don't know.
Right. We absolutely can go back into close.
I don't have any questions. I'm just saying, just an example. Like, we never even went through personnel on this at all whatsoever. So that's why I'm like, why are we even talking about it if it has to be done in closed? We usually just skip that, but I don't know, maybe things
If I
have
may,
changed.
through the chair, I'm sorry, if I may, I think Regina's questioning the new format because it's different than her being prior on here, where Kayla had turned around and said, does anyone have any questions? We didn't do that in the past. So am I understanding you correctly? So she's just questioning now, why are we stating that? And that's just, I think Kelly's new in reading it. So new process, old process, and learning processes.
This is usually for the Wednesday just approval.
Correct. I think it's it was her verbiage of saying, does anyone have any questions?
Got it.
That threw off. And I don't want to necessarily speak for you. I'm not your attorney, but I think I
And
understand.
the question can be about whoever's on personnel, so that means I would have to bring out their name in public, is what I'm
So
saying.
it's the wrong verbiage.
Oh, okay, that's what, thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, if
That's
the-
what it says.
If there were issues when you get the agenda, because Mrs. Violetti needs to know who to rice. I mean,
Mhm.
tonight there were a lot of non-tenured appointments on here, so staff was rice, but if there was another item that they weren't, a couple of years ago, everybody received a general rice notice. There was something the state had passed, and everybody just received a notice that you could be discussed on the board agenda. That has since changed, so we're trying to keep everything out in the open, so if you have general questions on the item, yes, you can ask it out here, but if not, you have to bring it to our attention so we can have the employee properly riced, then we could talk about it in a closed session.
Right, so it's just a question.
Yeah, it's just general, like out here is just general questions.
Okay.
Like I'm going to say, where it says new, on page 7, all the way on top, Rob Bernier. I think that's a great hire by the district.
That's
But the
Well,
public
a
doesn't-
great up for,
But the public doesn't have page 7.
I like it.
We just have page 7.
No, the public,
Exactly.
the public has the same agenda.
Same agenda.
I was talking about.
The public has,
Public has the same agenda.
yeah, we've been doing this for a little while. The public has the agenda.
So they have the draft
Yes,
too,
yes,
with the names on it.
yes.
Hooray.
In,
If certain positions, sometimes we'll leave a blank. We may have to discuss it in Monday's meeting, then we'll put it on for Tuesday when the public gets it for Wednesday's meeting, but
I mean, I'm all for transparency, but it's just, no, I just think personnel should be enclosed. That's just period.
I mean, most of the stuff we have on here is, most of it's routine. If there's anything controversial, obviously we would, Mrs. Violeti would inform you when we would talk about it in closed session, like we did a few items tonight.
Okay. Ms. Iannelli, you had something.
Yes, I do. Okay, so I have a communication from the middle school, high school PTO. They want to share that they had a very successful teacher and staff appreciation week. And I just want to start off by saying thank you very much to the middle school, high school PTO. They did a fabulous job for some of the stuff that was going on, and I was very excited by some of the prizes that were won in our house. So I thank you very much for all the hard work. So just to let you know some of the things that went out. So they want to thank Spruce Tech and Insera Foods because they provided, because of their donations, they were able to provide breakfast on Monday, Stevie's Weenies on Tuesday, an afternoon pick me up on Wednesday with Bubba Coos for Cinco de Mayo. That was Wednesday for Cinco de Mayo. And then Mr. Softies on Friday. And then thanks to Jen Calvin and from Moxie for donating $25 gift cards to every teacher.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I was very excited.
Very nice.
I was very excited. Very. Thanks to We Print, We Marketing, We Print Marketing, Brothers Pizza, and the very generous donations from a lot of the parents that were able to, from their donations, they were able to do raffles for the teachers. So they were very thankful to the community and the parents. They wanted to let everyone know. And the next meeting is on June 13th, which will be a virtual meeting at 7:30, and I'm sure Mr. Michael said that already. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
very much.
Anybody else? Wednesday?
I'll save mine for Wednesday.
Okay.
Just on the budget, back what you said before, Mr. Raccomando, maybe we'll change the slide to put Mrs. Torbic as the alternate. She did fill in 3 or 4 times for board members, that committee members that couldn't make it, so we do appreciate her commitment to the meetings too.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Old business. New business. Okay. I would like to open the meeting to the public. Okay. Anybody from the public wish to be here? Okay.
And you gotta read it.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. Taylor. Residents are requested to state their names, address, and subject matter. In the event it appears the public comment portion of this meeting may exceed 45 minutes, the presiding officer may limit each statement made by a participant to 5-minute durations. Issues raised by members of the public may or may not be responded to by the board. I'm sorry, this is real small writing. All comments will be considered and a response will be forthcoming, if and when appropriate. The board asks the members of the public to be courteous and mindful of the rights of other individuals when speaking. Specifically, comments regarding students and employees of the board are discouraged and will not be responded to by the board. Students and Students and employees have specific legal rights afforded by the laws of New Jersey. The board bears no responsibility, nor will it be liable for any comments made by members of the public. Members of the public should consider, their comments in light of the legal rights of those affected or identified in their comments, and be aware that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Okay, Mr. Taylor.
Jerry Taylor, 318 Shepherd's Avenue. I would take that home and practice a couple of times.
Oh, it's so small.
No, I'll make it bigger. Anyway, congratulations, Ms. Violetti, for your position. I haven't been able to come since you got hired. And you are definitely an improvement for sure. In relation to the budget for next year, last year, roughly at this time, there was busing that was taken away from MacArthur Avenue, because the only reason is my grandkids are over there. So the busing was taken away. There was discussion between the town and the budget with the mayor. The mayor said he basically fund the busing, and the superintendent, from what I understand, never got back to him or talked to him about that, and the busing went away. So now my grandkids have to walk across, down the main road, especially across the tracks and over there by the exit, by Route 80 and all. Is there anything in the budget for the busing to come back? Has it been discussed at all?
There is nothing in the budget as is for busing to come back. This is the first I'm hearing about the mayor and just working with the town to pay for busing. I would have to just look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, because he was with the crossing guards and stuff with the streets. All right. Still on the busing part of it, in your proposed budget here, the draft, in the section about the appointments, you have your number one, you're rescinding a bus driver for $49,829, right? Step one. In number two, you're hiring a bus driver for $60,404, step 10. How do we get step 10 out of?
He's an employee.
He is an employee already. Oh, all right. Okay. I take that back. And also as far as the attorney goes. So you're looking to hire an attorney, another firm besides the one that you had from last year, or is it still the same attorney firm from last year?
So on the agenda for tonight, it was to re-up the contract with the current attorney. So what the board members were discussing was pulling that to put it out to vote for bid.
Out to bid. And they're charging us roughly $255 an hour because it's $165 plus a clerk. Is there a clerk here every night that they come here?
I don't have the rates on me.
Well, it says $165
I
for the
don't have-
attorney and then $90 for the clerk per hour. So to me, that's $255 an hour.
No, that's just the rates if you use that person. So if you use the attorney, it's 165. If the clerk had to do something, it's that amount. It's not together.
That's a good way of getting money. Okay. All right. And also, has anything changed from last year as far as when I ask a question, I'll get an answer back? Or is that going to be towards the end, like it used to be in the old days?
No.
As Regina remembers.
Thank you. We have our policy for public comment that we do need to follow. But that being said, as it's reasonable for us to reply, we absolutely shall give a reply.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Anybody else? Come on, Monty.
Joni Montalbano, 797 Saddle River Road. I'm back about the SAT prep course. I'm passionate about this. Although my older daughter is going to miss out on it, I do have a younger daughter that's coming up. I feel it's an important course to be included as a choice for the students. We're bringing in other new choices, but we can't forget old choices that were a part of our curriculum, and I think it should be put in there for future. It was missed out this year, even if it's something they can start early, because I feel that it was missed this year for the, people couldn't believe the price of, outsourcing it and coming in after, with sports, they couldn't do it and things like that. So if it was a course included in school, half year, I think it should be something that for kids that are still going to college, they have that opportunity to help them with their SATs. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Montalbano. Anybody else? Okay. Motion to close the meeting to the public.
Motion.
Where am I right here? And a motion to adjourn. Oh, okay, so. Oh, okay. Okay, close the meeting to public comment. We are not going to be going into closed session because we already discussed, whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follows. NJSA 10-4, personnel, number 2, insurance claim, and number 3, the SBCMA request. So with that, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting until Wednesday.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you, everybody, for coming out, and we'll see you on Wednesday. And there will be a meeting time change on Wednesday for 7:30. Thank you.
The board is 6:30. The public meeting is 7:30. The board's 6:30 training with school boards.